Hello, my friends. I hope you're doing well this Saturday afternoon. And welcome to the stream. Welcome to another installment of my never ending game collection inventory. I'm planning to go through my Sega Genesis games today. And if we get all the way through those, then maybe start another area of the collection. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. If you haven't tuned in for one of these before, it's pretty simple. All I'm doing is laying out my games one by one on my table so that I can take a photo of them with my tablet and get them logged into a collection manager app that I have. I used to keep a decently up-to-date inventory of my game collection on a tablet I had previously, but I got lazy with it and it slipped pretty far out of date. And then I got a new tablet. The old app I was using isn't compatible with the new tablet, so I'm starting again from scratch. We're just logging all the things I own. So I've got a reference to help me pick out games, to help viewers pick out games when we start doing a sort of viewer's choice event next month. And yeah, just to help keep me from duplicating things I already own. That's a big one. That's a big one. So it's just a sort of laid back thing. We'll just sit here. I'm just gonna work, and if you want to hang out with me, that's great. You can lurk on the stream, or if you see something that inspires you to want to chat, then we'll talk about it. You can ask questions about anything you see. With the Genesis, I got to tell you, my experience with the Genesis is very limited. And if you have stories you'd like to share, go for it. Go for it. This is kind of tedious work, so I appreciate good company. And with that, we'll go ahead and get the camera switched over, get this Sonic out of the way. Hang on, I'm gonna bring it back up. It's at least mildly cursed. This Sonic Frowny. I don't know what is going on with it. I kind of love it. There we are, the old purple table. Those are not tissues, by the way. Those are microfiber cloths, just in case you were worried. Cleaning my glasses and screens. I'm gonna get those out of the way, though. Alright, and here's where the magic happens. I'm gonna go grab a stack of games, and we will get rolling with it. Okay, and these are not going to be in alphabetical order, but they're going to be in sort of alphabetical chunks, probably mostly reversed, because I've already actually got them onto my shelf, so I don't have to just pluck them from boxes this time. So you'll notice they'll be in something vaguely resembling order. Oh no, unless I knock the whole table over. So, first up, Disney's Tailspin. And I actually have a manual for this one. I've only got one Genesis case. That's ghouls and ghosts down here. Beautiful. Disney's The Jungle Book. Normally, I just chop off the word Disney when I'm typing them into my catalog, but I'm duplicating this inventory on my VG Collect account, and it's a lot more like specific with the titles like that. So to keep them in the same order, I have to title them the same way. Oh, and we've got an instruction manual for this one as well. And Disney's Aladdin. A lot of people prefer the Genesis version of Aladdin to the SNES version, and I disagree. Cool Spot. So the Cool Spot mascot from he's the mascot for 7 Up, and I remember the commercials with the Cool Spot character capturing my imagination when I was a kid. And I know this game was released on a lot of different platforms. I think it was on NES and SNES, and I'm pretty sure I rented it for both. I've never played the Genesis version though. Contra Hard Corps. Picked this one up recently. Never played it. I've only so far as the Contra series, I've only played the first game, and that I played it for the first time last month and immediately fell in love with it. I liked it so much that I knew when I saw a copy of this one available, I knew I had to go ahead and pick it up for when I eventually work my way up to it. This is one of the things that makes this process like really slow. Is first of all, it's a little bit tedious to enter information into this app just to begin with, and then secondly, there are issues of like Tailspin. I don't know if that's one word or two. Contra Hardcore. I don't know if that's supposed to have a colon in the title or not. So a lot of these titles, I have to Google them to make sure that I'm inputting them correctly. Again, because differences like that can affect the alphabetization, and I want them to appear in the same. I want them to appear in the same order across collections or across lists. Chuck Rock 2, Son of Chuck. I'm surprised they didn't just go with Chuck Rock Jr. So I can't really tell what this sticker is. I think it used to say the video place. It says a lot of the text is worn off. It says something about the sticker is here to prevent customers from tampering. And I don't know why it's got 847 written all over it in marker. Chester Cheetah, Wild Quest. I'm gonna have to play this on stream some night, just because, for whatever reason, I was sitting around thinking of this game, and I was coming up with cheese puns, and I came up with five or six of them, each one worse than the one before. My friends were getting really annoyed with me, so. I'm not gonna share them right now. I'm sorry I have to leave you in suspense, but I'm looking forward to streaming this just as an excuse to make a whole bunch of jokes. Very terrible, painful jokes, but I'm gonna keep them in the pocket for now. Multiverse Explorer, hey. Great to see you. Welcome to the laid back afternoon stream. I'm just doing some old collection inventory. I've done this like 7 times on stream now, and I think I've got like 600 games left to inventory. I've got about, well, maybe not quite that many. I've got about 550 in the inventory already. Feels like a never-ending process. I built a desk out of scrap lumber last night. 25 inches long, 4x4 legs. Nice. So that's right around 2 feet. That kind of sounds like the desk I use. The desk I use is cool. It's like an old typist's desk, and you know, it's just sort of a basic office desk, but it's on wheels, which is nice. It's really small. It's like, you know, maybe 25 by 25. Really just enough room on it for my laptop and my microphone. But it's got these wings that hang down on the sides that I can put up if I need to expand it, and so that's what makes it really cool. I mean, that and the wheels. The table here, the one that you're seeing, is not the desk I'm talking about. The table here is just a cheap, like, flimsy folding thing that I'm always threatening to knock over. Chester Cheetah never quite captured my imagination in the same way that the Cool Spot mascot did. I would always look forward to a new 7-Up commercial. I don't quite recall looking forward to new Cheetos commercials in the same way. Okay, got Chase HQ2. I got no idea what this game is all about. This must have come from the same place as Chuck Rock, because it's also got the same sort of numbers written on it. The sticker is in a more useless place, though. This anti-tamper sticker is not going to do anyone any good. It's not above a seam. I wonder if someone peeled... I wonder if it was originally on the side and someone peeled it off and put it over here instead. I don't know why you would do that, though. Championship Pro-Am. So this Chase HQ, it looks like it's got like a minivan and a gas truck and another 18-wheeler and some sort of sports car like clustered on the front. For whatever reason, when I picked this up, I assumed this was a game about driving like emergency vehicles. Like fire trucks and ambulances, but I think I'm wrong. Hey, next up, Chakan. I think the subtitle for this, or the tagline, is The Forever Man. I bought this game like 7 years ago because I saw it briefly featured in a YouTube video, and the only thing it took to sell me on it was they said something about the levels being themed after the 4 elements, and I was like, oh yeah, that's something that speaks to my imagination. and I haven't really ever played it. I sampled it just a little when I got it to make sure it worked. It did not give a good first impression, so I never sat down to play it properly after that. The desk surface is 63 long, 28 wide, 24 by 48, and an 1/8 inch, 16 gauge steel sheet on top. Nice. So is this desk gonna be for your streaming studio, or you just need another desk at home? Castlevania Bloodlines. I played this game for the first time a couple months ago, and Super Castlevania around the same time. And I gotta say, a lot of people love Super Castlevania 4, and I think it's a really fun game. I think I like Bloodlines better. So just in case my comment earlier about preferring the SNES version of Aladdin made you think I'm a biased Nintendo guy. I present my preference for Bloodlines as evidence to the contrary. I've only beaten it with one of the two characters, though, so I really need to go back to it and try out the other character, and also try out the hard mode, though I'm a little afraid of that. The game is hard enough as it is, that's for sure. Yes, I haven't had a real desk in about 6 years, so I made one. You seem to be like very skilled at making things. That's the impression you've given me just from some of the comments that you've made in the chat. I am not especially gifted at building things. I'm rather the opposite. I've done a few sort of like DIY projects, but they usually come out pretty low quality. I've got a big thing that I made. It's a glass whiteboard. And basically it's a big sheet of glass from a coffee table, and then I built a wooden frame so that it would stand upright. And I don't really use it for much of anything. I thought about bringing it down into my basement here in case I wanted to come up with something to do with it on stream, but it's kind of a pain to move, and it's rather underwhelming to look at. Next up we got Bubsy. I've never played the Genesis Bubsy. I've played it on the SNES. My cousin owned it. Not a great game. I think he had Bubsy 1 and 2. I wanted to like Bubsy. I wanted to like it when I was a kid because I really like cats. And oh yeah, it's a game with a bobcat. That's a type of cat. It's got a cat as the main character. I've gotta like it. Couldn't. Battletoads. Looks like it also had one of those silver stickers on it. Oh man, it's got crazy, crazy amounts of stickers on it. But someone has already started taking them off. We've got, it looks like G83 written on it. So Battletoads, I own Battletoads on the Genesis, the NES, and the Game Boy. And I've never played any of them yet. I understand the Genesis one to be easier than the NES one. So I'm gonna play it on NES first, some night on stream when I'm ready to really suffer. I have 9 plus Sega Genesis. My goodness. That's cool. I like to reuse or restyle stuff, but I could not do much finish work on it in the time I had. So Sheet of Steel. I bet the Sheet of Steel looks really good though. Though I am a big fan of wood grain. I mean, you've seen my my handsome wood paneling. Not that I had anything to do with it, but I've talked about it quite a bit, how much I like it. I play the guitar, and I'm mostly an acoustic guy, but I do have an electric guitar, and like all guitarists, I'm very interested in guitars, and so like I watch videos on guitars, like reviews and demos and stuff like that. But I'm always perplexed why anyone would want a guitar that has a solid, like an opaque finish on it, to where it's just painted like a solid color and you can't see the wood grain. I mean, I get that people have different, style preferences and stuff, but for me, like, I don't know, a guitar always looks better when the finish is at least translucent so you can see the wood grain running through it. The solid painted guitars really do nothing for me. And 9 Sega Genesis consoles is a whole lot. I think I own 3 or 4. I have at least 3. I have the Model 1 and I have at least 2 Model 2s, but I think I might actually have 3. Asterix and the Great Rescue. I believe Asterix is a comic character. I think he's popular. Somewhere overseas. I don't really know the character. I have so many Genesis consoles. I never had a Genesis as a kid, but when I was in college, like, it was really easy to find old Genesis for sale in like thrift shops and stuff like that. And anytime I came across one that was like around like $10, I would just pick it up just because. And now they've largely spent a lot of their time sitting in boxes until I started streaming on the Genesis, a couple months ago. One of them is finally getting the use it deserves. I try not to squat on too many duplicate copies of things. Like with games, I don't think I have more than 2 copies of any game in my collection. With consoles, it's a little different though. If I'm able to get a hold of one really cheap, I will keep a duplicate in storage as a backup, or a triplicate, or a, you know, whatever the word would be for 4 and up. Like I don't like to hoard more than I'll practically use of anything. But with the consoles, I'm a little wary, just because I've had bad luck with them breaking down in the past. So I'm willing to hold on to a lot of extras. Next up is Altered Beast. Back on the Sega front, I have all of 4 games for my Sega, but out of my parents' place, I have my Sega games. I just have to hunt them down. It's picking up a lot of fingerprints of the steel. I had a Fender Showmaster with tiger grain style wood, and now I have is Rogue painted black, but it's getting redone on the stream one day. Most of mine came from a free pickup. Contemplating putting dark portal prop in my background, or just go with the Popcorn Maker Galaga / Galaxian and Asteroids. I think that Popcorn Maker, I think that arcade machines make a nice make a pretty nice backdrop. I think the Combat King, he's got a couple of arcade machines in the background on his streams. I don't know. My first background was just a black sheet I nailed to the ceiling. And weirdly enough, I got compliments on it from the chat from time to time. People are like, they told me they like the simplicity of it. This copy of Altered Beast is in kind of rough shape. Like, the label, it definitely got wet at some point. I hope it was never completely submerged. Okay. Alien 3. This copy of Alien 3 is really dubious. I don't know if it actually works. It looks like it's missing several of its contacts. I don't know if it would have come without them, but it doesn't. On the back, it has a full row of contacts inside, but on the front, they're really spotty. So I don't know if someone would have like ripped them off, or if it could have been damaged somehow. Probably doesn't work. It's probably damaged, because no other Genesis game... Oh no, that's not true. I take it back. Championship Pro-Am is like that. It's got a bunch of missing contacts. That's weird. Well, maybe they're both broken. Who knows? I'll have to try them out. I think the movie Alien 3 is alright. I never hated it like a lot of people do. Oh, and there's the, we have the manual as well, by the way. Okay, and The Adventures of Batman and Robin. I've heard this game is really good. I wish I had this on the SNES as well, so that I could compare the versions, but it's just on the Genesis for me for now. The Batman animated series is probably definitely my favorite incarnation of Batman. I really liked that show as a kid, and even as an adult, I still really appreciate it. I think it does a really good job of capturing the sort of the equal parts of the drama and the silliness of Batman and his universe. Cocktail table does not do itself justice. Can I put some pics of my recent large pickup in Discord? Yeah. If so, would be most appropriate. It was a good bookend film. Then they made more. Oh, yes. Yeah, Alien 3. Yeah, so in the Discord, there's a I don't know what you call them. There's a thread for collecting. So that's where you'd want to post those. SNES controller D-pad is better. I agree. I like the SNES controller better all around. I'm not a huge fan of the Genesis controller. I've gotten somewhat used to it now, having played a handful of games, but it's definitely not my preferred controller. And super ghouls and not super regular ghouls and ghosts. The only Genesis game that I have a box for. And I'm actually not crazy about it. It's a fine game. Just the thing is, the Genesis port of this game is not my favorite way to play it, by far. There's a much better port available on PlayStation, and it's in a compilation. I think it's called Capcom Classics, and that's my preferred way to play Ghouls and Ghosts. I played that on the PSP. I played through it on the PSP and the PS2, and I really like it. The Genesis version is unfortunately rather lacking. And I got the manual. So, probably not quite complete in box, because I'm sure there were other inserts that came with it originally, but I mean, really, what more do you need? I mean, for me, I just need the cartridge. The manual's a nice bonus, but since you can find them digitally, I'm not really picky. I don't really go out of my way for a whole lot of complete things. But since I love this series so much, this is a nice one to have. And the cover is just magnificent. $3.99 Super Smash Bros. Melee with 2 copies of the game inside was my favorite pickup. That's a pretty sweet deal. I don't tend to remember what I pay for games a lot of times. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't really stick with me. Though I do know that I got Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut for $4. I'm not 100% sure, but it was right around $4. It definitely wouldn't have been over $5.99, but I think it was $3.99. Just like yours, just like your Melee. And that one only stands out because of how absurd it is when you consider how much people ask for that game nowadays. Like how Sega went from black and white for the Master System to the black and whitish silver of the Sega Genesis. Yeah. I don't really like how the Master System cases look very much, but I like this design for the Genesis. I think this looks a lot better. The Master System cases always just kind of looked like graph paper to me. Like they looked unfinished. Alright, I gotta go grab another stack of games. I'll be right back with you. Genesis has large full art most of the time, and Master had integrated small art graph paper. Yeah. Okay, we got Pac-Man 2, The New Adventures. I mean, can you think of a more classic sequel than the sequel to Pac-Man? Like, you've got the original game as a masterpiece, and then you follow it up with Pac-Man 2. Sorry, I'm not very good at holding my my stuff in frame here. I think I actually have this on the Genesis and the SNES. Outrun? I think this is an arcade game. The larger carts with the thumb helper spot lead to worn out cartridge slots due to unequal pressure. I didn't know that. I was never much. I've never been much of a fan of arcades. I guess because maybe I'm a little. I don't know if maybe I'm a little too young, or just because I grew up out in the wilderness and like rarely ever saw an arcade machine. Like I don't know what it is, but like arcade machines are always like interesting to me, but never my preferred way to play. And they're mostly just interesting because my choice, you know, like because I usually found them at restaurants, and so my choice was either to wait and listen to the adults' boring chit chat while we waited for our food, or to go hang out with the arcade machines. And so, you know, guess what I picked? But it was always like the arcade machine was always to me like people look at like console versions as watered down, like arcade, like, you know, like there's an arcade game and then it gets a console port, and people are like, they look at the console port as like the watered down inferior version. and and for me, like, I always felt like the console version was more legitimate than the arcade machine. Not that it is, but I mean, it definitely 10 times out of 10 would be my preferred way to play, would be on a console than a machine. I don't like arcade sticks. I don't really like arcade buttons. They are just I really like controllers. Next up, speaking of arcade games, Miss Pac-Man. Mortal Kombat 2. And Mortal Kombat. I have a startling amount. I have a startlingly high amount of Mortal Kombat games in my collection, considering that I'm someone who's never played any except for a little bit of this one, and I don't really like fighting games. It's pretty wild how many I own. This cartridge is seems very weird. Like, I don't know, maybe it was left in a hot car or something. It feels like it's been slightly roasted. I have them due to being like a treat. Oh yes, very much the same boat. Country till age of 10, only child. Found out I had half siblings at 16 or 17. Arcades only 8. Laundry mats and pizza, only at laundry mats and Pizza Hut. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty much it. That was the only time I saw arcade machines, was at Pizza Hut. There was a barbecue joint that had a couple arcade machines near my hometown, and that was pretty much it. At the Pizza Hut, they had the Turtles arcade game. They had Miss Pac-Man. and they had Rescue 911 pinball machine. Those are the three machines that I remember, and they had a couple others that rotated in and out, but those are the three I remember. And at the barbecue place, they had a Star Wars pinball machine, they had a Batman arcade machine, and I thought I remembered another pinball machine, but it's left my memory now. So I remember those two, and I think and like the Pizza Hut, they had a couple others that rotated in and out, but they didn't stick out in my memory. The label is off on the Mortal Kombat one. Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange. What you gonna do? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie. And Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So I know I never went to the movie theater very much as a kid. For whatever reason, like I feel like there are a lot of movies from my childhood that I sort of like remember seeing in the theater, but I think these are all false memories because there were no movie theaters very close to my home. Um, so I think I've just sort of invented memories of seeing movies in the theater when I was a kid, so I can't really trust. I can remember seeing Ghostbusters 2 in the movie theater. But logically, I know there's absolutely no way I would have seen that movie in the theater. So I don't know if it's just because I was a kid and the TV was so much bigger that it created all these false memories or what it is. But there's a lot of movies like that where I remember seeing it in the theater, but I know that can't be true. But the Power Rangers movie, I'm pretty sure I did see this in the theater because I think that my sister and I saw this movie, and my parents saw Independence Day. And I think I remember that because I think that was probably the first time I'd seen a movie in a theater without an adult. Let's see, Pac-Man, Asteroids, and Star Wars the Arcade, and eventually NFL Blitz. Yeah, so the only one of those I've ever played was the Pac-Man arcade machine. Maybe you saw it in a theater that had reshowings of older movies on the cheap. No, I wasn't even aware of that concept of a theater that showed non-current theater movies. I wasn't even aware that was a thing that could exist until I was in college. movie theaters are really not on my radar when I was growing up. It was over an hour drive to get to the nearest theater, the theater nearest to my hometown, and it was over an hour and a half of a drive to get to the nearest, like, decent theater. Okay, I don't know if I held this one up. This is the Lost World Jurassic Park. Landstalker. I've always been kind of a homebody anyway. Like, the idea of going to a theater is never really super appealing to me. Like, I couldn't even tell you what the last movie I saw in a theater was. We made very heavy use of the video rental store when I was a kid, though. Like, that's how I found out about and saw most of the movies that I saw as a kid. There were very, very few, like, theater experiences, but tons and tons of movie rental experiences. My Landstalker photo didn't come out right. Let me try that again. Oh no, I've got two. What do I do? Jurassic Park. Oh no, as I feared, I've got to retake a photo now. I got the manual for the Lost World. Is this really the official manual? It feels like a photocopy. I mean, it's too nice to be an imitation one, but at least I think so. So one of the things that everyone hates about college is what a scam the textbooks are. And they're just crazy over they're just crazy like overpriced, and the new editions come out that aren't really new in any meaningful way, and it's just an absolute scam. But one thing that's interesting is so I studied for a while and I lived in Thailand, and I went to college over there, and in Thailand you don't have to buy your textbooks because next to the college there's usually a textbook store where they sell photocopies of the textbook. And so when I was there, all of my textbooks were just photocopies. And, naturally, this reminds me of those. After age 12, there was a place called The Place, 45-minute walks from my house, that had dollar theater movies. Used that a lot, but rentals were my primary. Yeah, I might have done something similar if there had been anything decently close by. Okay. Next up is Hook. Again, covered in these metal stickers. I don't know. I don't know if I got a lot of these games. I don't remember where a lot of these came from. I don't know if I bought a lot at some point, or I don't know. I don't know why so many of my games have come from the same place. I don't know what this video place is. It says Madison Square. Does that mean the only Madison Square I know is in New York, right? Very strange. The box would have been paper or cardstock as well. Same with many other Genesis games. They often used grayscale for the manuals. Yeah, and you know what? Actually, I've got one other one. We haven't gotten to the game yet, but this one is grayscale too. Okay. Great Circus Mystery. Golden Axe. Ghostbusters. Most of this label is gone. A lot of my Genesis games, like I've got rough looking games in every category, but it seems like a lot of my Genesis games are really rough looking. But I know this works, so they can stand up to some punishment, it seems. What was the address on the label for Madison Square? It didn't have a full address. It just says the video place Madison Square, and then there's a phone number. Which I don't think I should read out on stream, just because I don't want to get in trouble for like giving out personal information. Like, what if it's a private number nowadays or something? I don't think I should do that. The area code is a 615 though. I can give that. Genesis 6-pack. This has got Sonic. It's got Sonic 1, Golden Axe, Streets of Rage, Revenge of Shinobi, Columns, and Super Hang-On. That's due to palm rub and human oils, you say? You're probably right. That sounds a little. It sounds a little gross to think about. General Chaos. I don't know if Chaos is supposed to have stars in between the letters, or if that's just for... or if that's just for style here. Okay, it looks like I can get away without the stars. It's just interesting to me that so many of the games have similar stickers, because I don't remember buying a big lot of Genesis games at any point, but it seems like I must have for so many of them to have common stickers. Next up is Gargoyles. I've heard this game is really good. This one I've got a manual for. It's got a nice crease in the front there, too. This music here reminds me of something, but I can't place it. You know what? I think it reminds me of... I think there's some music that sounds a lot like this in an episode of Fraggle Rock. It might be in multiple episodes, but it's in at least one. It's one of the segments where Uncle Traveling Matt is wandering around in outer space. It's one of the postcard segments. Yeah, I think that's what it reminds me of. We have The Fairy Tale Adventure. Apparently came from somewhere called American Video. This one also has a phone number on it. This sticker's so old that the phone number doesn't even bother to have the area code. We have Fatal Labyrinth. And X-Mutants. I've got a manual for this one. Eternal Champions. Man, I entered this one terribly. First of all, I misspelled both words in the title. And then the photo I took was out of focus. Okay. Echo the Tides of Time. The full color instruction book usually means a plastic case. That's kind of what I figured. That makes sense. If they're going to go to the cheaper style of manual, they'd probably go to a cheaper case at the same time. A couple people have told me that they want me to play Echo the Dolphin on stream. And it's a game that I'm really interested to play. That was the Tides of Time, but the next one up is Echo the Dolphin. This is a game I am excited to play, but I'm also very scared to play because I understand it to be quite difficult and confusing. That's what I've been told, at least. It's kind of like Battletoads. I'm looking forward to playing Battletoads, but I'm also very scared of playing Battletoads. Alright, I'm going to clear these off the table and get another stack. Honestly, Echo is one I can't enjoy. Mild trauma related to it happened the same night. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Multiverse Explorer. I guess I'm pretty lucky. I don't think I have any games that I have negative memory associations with. All of my sort of like mental associations connected to different games are, I would say, I think they're either positive or just bizarre or like random and pointless. Who made my headphones? My headphones are Philips. I don't really know anything about them other than that. Yeah, the only only thing they say on them is Philips and closed back stereo headphones. I found them at a thrift store, and they work really well. I like them because the cups that go around the ear are really, really big. They're also really worn. You can see like a lot of this like fake material has worn off. But it's fine. I mean, I don't care about that. I just care about the functionality. And they work really well because the cups are really big. They do a good job at, they fit all the way around my big ears, and they do a really good job of blocking out sort of other like room noise and stuff like that for me. Alright, so first up we'll do the Sonic and Knuckles cartridge. Kind of weird looking thing since it attaches to other games. Zero tolerance. That's the other sort of grayscale manualed one. I wonder... I'll look in the manual real quick. I was wondering if this game was light gun compatible, but I don't think, based on what I see in the manual, I don't think it is. I don't see anything about the light gun. I don't know what, if any, Genesis games I own are light gun games. I have 2 light guns that I think are compatible with the Genesis. They're just kind of cheap, ones. But I wonder... I don't know if any of the games in my collection are light gun games. I had hopes that this one would be, but flipping through the manual, it doesn't look like it is. X-Men 2, Clone Wars. X-Men. Only 5 regular Genesis games were light gun games. And the odds of me having any of them are pretty low, I imagine. World of Illusion, starring Disney's Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. Oh no, I spelled the word world wrong. So one of the things about this app that's really obnoxious is when you misspell something, it doesn't let you just correct the error. You have to retype the whole item from scratch. Vector Man. I've never played Vector Man. I vaguely remember seeing commercials for it on TV when I was a kid and being like intrigued. Felt like the commercials made the game look really good. Toy Story. Let's see, the Minister 6 game, Body Count, Lethal Enforcer 1 and 2, Terminator 2, the arcade game. The others were on the 32X/CD. I don't have that. Yeah, I don't have it. I don't have any of those, unfortunately. So my light guns will go to waste. For now. Who knows? Who knows what I might pick up in the future, though. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighter. Tournament Fighters. Here's another flaw with this app. I'm always finding new flaws with it. If the title is too long, then it won't let you edit the title. You have to delete the entry entirely and recreate it from scratch. It won't even let you replace the title. Like I was talking about before, it won't let you edit the title. It lets you replace the title by retyping it from scratch. But with a really long title, it won't even let you do that. It's very weird. This is a very clunky app. But I'm committed now. I've done so much work in this app. I'm committed. I don't care if there. I know there must exist a better one out there, but I don't want to know about it because I don't want to redo all of my work. Derek Ocean, hello, welcome to the stream. We're just I've got some time this afternoon, so we're just working on the collection inventory. Oh, I guess I should hold this up. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Hyperstone Heist. It's just me sitting around taking pictures of my games. This game's fun. I played it and I played Turtles 4 on the same night, and I liked this better than Turtles 4, but Turtles 4 is at a disadvantage because I didn't know you could change the controls to assign the dash feature to a button. And so I played Turtles 4 without a manual dash, and it was a frustrating experience. This game has the manual dash by default, so I liked this one better. But now that I know I can change my controls in Turtles 4, I probably need to replay them both so I can redetermine which one I like better. Sega Genesis, yeah, I'm going through the Sega games. I'm actually almost done. I've only got about maybe 12 left. We're coming up on the end of the collection, but it's going to be, I'm going to put them up on my VG Collect account so people will be able to browse through them there. It'll probably take a few days. Doing okay. Got to head to work soonish. Good to hear. Good to hear you're doing okay, that is. You've got some envy brewing over that one, the Hyperstone Heist? It's a pretty fun game. I don't remember when I got it. I think I got it back in college, so I had it for a really long time. I only played it for the first time a couple months ago. It's a fun game indeed. It's a good time. Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition. Having trouble with the toilet. Your stepdad's working on it in the bathroom. Oh man, plumbing problems are the worst. I don't know if I held the manual up, but there's the manual as well. I have no laundry machine currently. My laundry machine burnt out. And I ordered a new one, and the guys came to deliver it today, and they unloaded it from the truck, and they unboxed it, they unloaded it from the truck and brought it downstairs, and they had to take it back though because the machine had a huge dent in it. I was like, I didn't order a banged up machine. I ordered a new one. And like this was no like cosmetic blemish. This is like a piece of machinery had run into it. And it actually wasn't me that noticed it though. In fairness, it was the driver who noticed it, the delivery driver, and he was like, "Oh man." He was like, "We're gonna have to take this back." And then I came and looked at it and was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have to take that back." It was just a huge dent. So I don't know. They're gonna get me another one. But it looks like I'm gonna be making another trip to the laundromat in the meantime. And the driver, so there was a driver and his partner, and his partner did most of the unloading. But when the driver noticed the dent, he was so angry at his partner because his partner was the guy who took it out of the box and like loaded it up onto the dolly. And he did all that and didn't say anything, and so they brought it all the way downstairs for no reason. And the driver was so mad at his partner. Not sure if you can do laundry because of the water. Yeah, that's the thing. Like you have a problem with plumbing in one area. It made me worried to mess with anything. And I mean, you might. I don't know. When I was a kid, the first house that I remember us living in had all kinds of plumbing problems. My dad was always working on it, and it was such a pain. Next up is Stargate. So I always thought this copy of Stargate, I don't think I've tried it out. I always assumed that this wouldn't work. I thought it was broken because it has a lot of the contacts missing, like I was talking about earlier. But now, I'd never seen that on a game before, but now I've seen that there are a lot of Genesis games that seem to not have a complete row of contacts. That just seems to be a normal thing, so now I'm thinking that my assumption was probably wrong. Stargate is a great movie, fun game, pretty decent. Yeah, haven't played it yet. Haven't seen the movie, so my Stargate knowledge is extremely lacking. Here we got Spider-Man. How did Pikmin go? On Pikmin, I'm on day 21. I think I have 9 parts left to find. So if I can just make sure I find at least 1 a day and 2 on a couple days, we might get all the pieces on our first run. Though I'm not gonna hold my breath. After Pikmin, I played Ninja Gaiden, and I beat it at just around an hour. So that's a great improvement on my PB. From 2.5 hours down to 1 hour. That's pretty good. But I couldn't really celebrate because that game makes me so frustrated. I have such mixed emotions about Ninja Gaiden because I really like the game, but it also really frustrates me. So when I play it, I'm never as happy as I think I'm going to be. Good run, 1 hour. Yeah, thank you. I thought it was not bad. I couldn't really celebrate it in the moment because the game had me kind of out of sorts, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm hoping that it wasn't just a fluke. Like, I'm hoping I can repeat at least, close to that same window of time. If I can consistently beat it around that time, then I think I'm ready to start. Then I think I'm gonna be ready to start really grinding at it soon and trying to get better and better runs. So I don't know. I'll probably play it. I'll probably play it at least once this upcoming week, and then depending on how that goes, it might start showing up on the stream kind of regularly for a while, like I was doing with Contra recently. Okay, I've already done. I'm gonna step away for just a moment. Gonna switch. I'm gonna put the Sonic and Knuckles in my Genesis because I think I'm gonna play it soon, and I need to get Sonic 3 out of the Genesis to inventory it. There we go. So, Sonic 3. Sonic 2. When I get off the stream tonight, I'm going to have to put some thought into what I'm going to have for dinner. And that's the first time I've had to do that in a couple nights, because like 4 days ago, I grilled a pork shoulder and turned it into pulled pork, and I've been eating that for dinner every night ever since, but I ran out of it last night. It was delicious and wonderful and served me quite well. But now alas, it's all gone. Sonic the Hedgehog. One of my favorite things to do for dinner is to grill a bunch of meat like that and then eat it for several days. And I just have meat and rice. And I was like, that's just it. Just grilled meat and plain white rice. It'd be nice to put a proper vegetable in there as well, but it's also kind of a hassle. I like the simplicity. I like the simplicity of just meat and rice. for Sonic, I have a... I think it's a manual? I don't know. It might not be a manual. I think it's a manual, but it looks like it also could be a poster. It unfolds. I guess it's not a manual. It's some kind of insert. It's got a whole bunch of games on it. And the Game Gear. And on the back... On the back, it's a Golden Axe poster. I don't really know anything about Golden Axe, but this is kind of awesome. Alright, you know what? I'll take it. Oh, enjoy the rest of the stream. Good luck with the inventory. I'm going to head out a bit early. Right on. Thanks for dropping by, Derek. I appreciate you stopping in. Even if it couldn't be for very long. And good luck with work. I'll see you again. Yeah, so I figured it was gonna be at least partially a poster, but then before I unfolded it, but I thought maybe it was like poster / manual, but it's more like ad / manual. Well, that's all right. It's kind of a cool thing to have. Next up, Sonic Spinball. I do have the game. There's the manual, but first, for reasons unknown. And there's the game. Oh yeah, I'm certain that the poster came with Sonic, because one of the panels is just the cover of the game. But yeah. So, Sonic. No, hang on. Before I started playing the Sonic games on stream, Sonic Spinball was the only Sonic game I'd ever really played. Like any significant amount of Sonic Spinball, and also a Sonic game on the Game Gear. I played a little bit. Now you know, I've played Sonic 1, 2, and 3 one time each, so I'm basically an expert at this point. Sonic Classics. I don't remember. This has 3 games on it. I don't remember what it has. I think it's Sonic 1 and 2, And I don't know what the third game is. Look it up real quick. Real quick. It's Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That's what it looks like. Okay, and Sonic. That was my last Sonic game. Sonic 3D Blast. So I have three copies of the original Sonic. I've got it just as a regular cartridge. I've got it in part of the Genesis 6, as included in the Genesis 6 pack, and I've got it included in the Sonic Classics. Mean Bean is Sonic Dr. Mario. Nice. Here I've got Samurai Showdown. Is Showdown spelled correctly? They've got it spelled S-H-O-D-O-W-N. Does it really only have one W? That's weird. Alright, and Rocket Knight Adventures. I mean, I know that's how they spelled it on the cartridge, but because I was just looking at it, but I mean, just the word showdown in general. Like if one cowboy said to another, "Let's have a showdown," it would have a W, right? Yeah. All right, and I actually have a backup copy of this, so I should grab that. This is the only Genesis game I have two of where it's like two of the exact same cartridge. Mega favorite. I've actually never played this. I was a big fan. I had Sparkster on the Super Nintendo, and I was a big fan of that game. I've heard this is better. Sparkster, I know. In any other context, yes, with two W's. Okay. All right, that's what I was pretty sure. That's what I thought. Sparkster on the Super Nintendo. I know I've beaten Sparkster on SNES. I remember beating it, but it was a long time ago when I was a kid, and I played it a couple years ago, and I don't know how I ever beat that game, because there's a boss fight where, like, you're flying in these, like, giant boxing robots, and that boss fight is just impossible. I don't know how I ever got past it, but I struggled with it for a really long time, just a few years ago, and could not do it. Okay. Road Rash 2. The Revenge of Shinobi. Streets of Rage. And ending with the best of the best, Shaq Fu. Alright, that brings our grand total for Genesis games to 62 unique cartridges. A couple of them are compilations, and one of them is a duplicate, but the 62 unique cards. So not a bad collection, considering I'm a Nintendo guy. So I think we'll clear these away, and then we'll work on something. We'll do a couple of odds and ends that I still have in their cases. So we'll do a handful of PlayStation games. I think some PSP, PS1, PS2. Okay, so we'll get my PSP games knocked out. My PSP collection is very small and not particularly amazing. This song sounds a lot like a song by the band Tally Hall. I can't think of the exact one. Maybe it might actually be Welcome to Tally Hall from their first album that I'm reminded of. Sounds like the end of one of them. It could be the end of Greener. I don't know. Anyway, there's a song by that band, and it sounds like what was just playing. I sold a lot of the PSPs when they came out. Never had one for long. Was cool to carry a PS1 in your pocket. Yeah, I didn't have the PSP. I didn't have it when it was like brand new or anything. I picked one up when I was living in Korea. So it would have been like 5 years into the PSP's sort of life cycle. So I've got PSP games from a couple different regions. And I actually think I have one that's not in the stack. That I should probably... Oh, wait, I think it's down here, actually. I was going to go grab it, but I think it's actually right next to me. So disorganized. I've just got stuff all over the planet. Hey, well, first up is Sonic Rivals, a game I've got I don't even have the box for. I just keep it in this little, like, slip cover thing. Here we got Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. This is a Japanese copy of the game, and it's actually a re-release. So when they released Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins, they changed a lot of stuff about it, and fans are pretty unpleased. And so in Japan only, they did a re-release of it that has 2 versions of the game, and one of them they retooled the game to make it more traditional and in line with the older games in the series. And so this, I believe, if I remember correctly, this has both versions on it, the original and the more classic version. not really sure what to call it in my inventory, so for now I'm just calling it Japanese re-release. Mega Man Maverick Hunter X. Not to jinx anything, but how long would you think the laser is going to last on the PSP before needing replacement? I mean, it's only 20 for a new one, but that is something I think about with them. I don't know. I don't know. Any of my consoles that have lasers in them? I don't know. I hope a really long time, but I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm just gonna enjoy them while they do. Uh-oh. Hey, another one I don't actually have a case for. I just have this sort of recycled case. And this is Daxter. There's a lot of randomness to my PSP collection, just because I would just occasionally find a game really cheap at like a yard sale or something. Very, very few of the entries in my PSP collection are by design. Wanted to redo the Sonic Rivals picture. I don't know why Sonic Rivals gets the slip-on case and Daxter gets the real case. There's no logic behind any of this. Castlevania Dracula X Chronicles. This has a version of Rondo of Blood. I think it's a remake of Rondo of Blood plus the original Rondo plus the original Symphony of the Night. Except the original versions are not quite the original versions because the voice acting has been re-recorded. But other than that, they're original. So it's very weird. Very cool. I got this game for free because I traded. A friend of mine had this, and he traded me this for my copy of Soul Calibur on the PSP, which is a huge win for me because I love Castlevania and I don't care about fighting games at all. So Um, I've had to replace disk drives on my PS2 Fat a few times due to how much I tend to use it. Oh, yeah, see, now that's something I'm worried about. With the Xbox 360 and One, you cannot replace the disk drive as they are married via code to the board. So if they go out, you have an all digital Xbox. That's unfortunate. Didn't know about the voice acting. Thank you for that knowledge. Any knowledge you get from me, make sure you take it with a grain of salt because I often get details like that mixed up. But I think that's the case. I believe the voice acting is different in this, so it doesn't have the like, "Die, monster! You don't belong in this world." Like, so when I do Symphony of the Night on stream, I'm gonna have to decide because on the PSP I have the original Symphony digitally, but then I also have it included in this. So I'm gonna have to decide: do I want to go with the original or do I want to go to for the original experience, or do I want to play with the new voice acting for the benefit of people who might not be familiar with that? I'll have a choice. Maybe I'll run a poll. Okay, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City Stories. Alien stole my brain and drank my liquor. And it's got, I'm guessing this is a poster and a map. Yeah. I don't actually know who this guy is, but I assume he's important to the game. I played a lot of Grand Theft Auto Vice City. I played a ton of this game, but I didn't have a PlayStation 2. My friend did. And so I'd play this game over at his house, and I would just mess around. I never like played it seriously or made any progress. But I put hours and hours and hours into it, just messing around. Very fond memories. I feel nostalgia for Vice City all the time because because I have so many memories of playing it with my friend, and there's so much like good music in Vice City, and like whenever I'm like out of the store or something, I hear a song from the game over the intercom, like it makes me feel really nostalgic for it. Sometimes it makes me feel like that weightless feeling that you get inside of like the pit of your stomach if you're like really invested in a game and like you fall off a really high cliff, and like as your character's falling, like you kind of get the sensation of falling sometimes. And now sometimes some of the music in that game, because of all the times I would like drive cars off of buildings in that game, like sometimes the music will make me feel that sort of weightless feeling in my stomach. Okay, and Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. Play both. I mean, I imagine I'll probably play both of them eventually, but I don't know if I want to play that much Symphony of the Night back to back. Liberty City ranked worst place in America again. I like how the manuals are like fake, sort of like newspapers and tabloids. That's interesting. Okay, might as well look at the other poster. Kind of cool. Hello again, Derek. PSP games. I'm at work early. Got a little time to kill. Right on. Yep. My PSP collection is very small, so we're gonna be through it pretty quickly. I'm really only planning to go at this for another like 20 to 30 minutes or so. So I'm figured the PSP would be easy enough to knock out, and then I might do. I've got a couple PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games on my shelf. I might do those too. Most of my discs are in slip covers and binders, not in official boxes. But I've got a few that are on the shelf in their official boxes, and I might go ahead and knock those out too. Just depending on how time goes. I used to love my PSP so much. Great handheld. Yeah, I had the PSP for a long time, but I never played it a whole lot. Okay, this is Mega Man Powered Up. Are you streaming anything tonight? No, I don't plan on streaming tonight. I usually don't stream on Saturday nights. That's my one regular night that I almost never stream on Saturday night. And I don't plan to tonight. Burnout Legends. I've never played this, but I played I think a fairly significant amount of Burnout Paradise. I really liked that game. There was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks where I was really, really into it. I don't know if this one is anything like that or not. I assume probably not, but I don't know. Medieval Resurrection. I never played any of the medieval games, but I really wanted to, especially when I was young. I didn't have a PlayStation, but these games made me kind of made me want a PlayStation. I was like, I mean, it's a skeleton knight. What could be better than that? They're fun, but they're tough. I haven't played one yet. As much as it captured my imagination when I was young, I never got around to one. God of War: Chains of Olympus, another series I've never played anything in. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need to be marking which of these are. I need to mark which of these are from foreign regions. So Liberty City Stories is region 2, and So that's your Liberty City Stories is European, and Castlevania is Korean. Already marked that that was Japanese. I think that's it for those. God of War. Monster Hunter Freedom Unite. I know basically nothing about the Monster Hunter series. And I got a 2-pack. It's Japanese. It says region 2. Is Japan? So, I thought that this was a region sticker. Are Japan and Europe both region 2? Weird. I don't know. I don't understand. It's weird that they both. I thought that was the region number, but they both have 2, and I wouldn't expect Japan and Europe to have the same region number. But anyway, so this is a 2-pack. Mega Man Powered Up and Maverick Hunter X, both the Japanese ones. So I don't know. Do I put this in as 2 items or 1? I guess it's 1 item. I'm gonna put them in as one item. It's kind of a weird thing, so it's not the Japanese one's not Maverick Hunter. The Japanese one is Irregular Hunter. Yeah, Rockman. I guess I should have put it in as Rockman. I put it in as Mega Man. I'm a fool. Pictures are taller than they are wide, so. I was right the first time. I just needed to put everything closer together. That's better. Look at these side by side for a moment. Oh yeah. Japan really got the better, like, the better discs when you look at the art side by side. Like, Japan's the one on top. The American one's just plain. The same is even true for the Maverick Hunter. I put my picks in the collecting Discord. Excellent. Let me finish up with this and I'll check them out. That's the largest item I've had to photograph so far. Okay, I think I actually have one more PSP game, but for some reason it wasn't with the rest of them. Well, I'm sure I do, but I don't know where it is, so I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Let me pull up the Discord. I'll check out your photos. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Multiverse Explorer. This is huge. How many games is that? And that's just one haul. I mean, that looks bigger than a lot of like full collections. So I must say, you're really serious about your collecting. I think you're more serious than I am about it. It's 59 games. Right on. All right, let me see. Let me take a... Take one more quick look here. I think this is where we'll wrap. I think we'll just wrap with the PlayStation games here. So I know I have one more PSP game, or I think I do. I think I have a Wild Arms PSP game, but it wasn't with the rest of them, and I don't see it with the other Wild Arms games. So, seem to have misplaced something, but oh well. Super Smash and One Piece are duplicates. Okay, my friends. So I think I'm gonna wrap up our stream here. Thanks for hanging out with me and keeping me company. We got some work done. I'm really happy to have the Genesis games done, in particular, because I know a lot of my regular and semi-regular viewers are very interested in Genesis titles. So I've got those now in my tablet, so they'll be on my VG Collect sometime soon. Probably in the next couple days, and then I'll get the PSP up there as well. I'm really going to try to push hard to get a lot of these collection inventory streams done next week. I want to get all of my streamable games inventoried and put into the VG Collect So they'll be browsable by the beginning of October, since I'm going to let people, pick things out for the sort of viewer's choice lotto thing we're going to do. So that's my goal. So you might, if I'm lucky and if I have my way, you might see me live on a lot of afternoons in the upcoming week or so, with more of just shots of the table as I work my way through my collection. And if you want to drop by and keep me company, as always, I'll greatly appreciate it. So thank you for being here with me. Thank you, Multiverse Explorer, for keeping me company and chatting with me. Thanks, Derek, for dropping by, and anyone else who's been viewing quietly. I feel very lucky to have you here with me. And if you want to check out one of my regular streams, those are my nighttime streams, Sunday through Friday, typically around 11 p.m. Central Time. That's when we play games. So hopefully I'll see you tomorrow night with something. If you want to know my schedule, just ask to join the Discord and you can check it out there. But that's going to wrap us up. Thank you again, my friends. Have a wonderful day or night, whatever it is, wherever you are, and I hope to see you again. We're not going to go on a raid. I kind of need to bounce, so we're just going to call this stream here. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again.